Hey guys, Cyber Aquarist here. I wanted to show you all the new skimmer that I'm going to be running on my Innovative Marine Nuvo 38. This is the Reef Octopus Classic 1000 HOB. As the HOB implies, this is a hang on the back skimmer. It's rated for aquariums up to 100 gallons, and it has the pinwheel pump mounted externally for minimal heat transfer. It's 3/4 of an inch thick, so there's minimal space that it takes up on the back of the tank. This is going to hang off the back of the filtration chambers. And for those of you that want to mount it on your display, it has the surface skimming basket included. I picked this up at Bulk Reef Supply. I think I paid about $280, but there's the price below because I don't remember exactly. I got free shipping on it. I waited till water change day to put this thing on the tank because it holds a lot of water. And I'm going to have to reconfigure my equipment back here. This is the Innovative Marine Desktop Skimmer. It's been on this tank for a couple years. It's served me well, but it's time to go because it requires constant adjustment. And lately it's been giving me more of a wet skim. So I'm going to go ahead and try this other skimmer out. But I've got plenty of room back here between the wall, probably about 8 inches or so, and it only takes up 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to show you guys how I have to reconfigure the equipment for the skimmer. And another reason I waited until water change day is because I want to know exactly how much water the skimmer is going to hold, so I can calculate that into my system's volume of water, and I can adjust my dosing as necessary. Well, let me go ahead and get this thing assembled. We'll take a look at it before it goes on the tank, and then we'll take a look at it on the tank in operation. I'll be right back with you guys. Okay guys, so I went ahead and filled up the skimmer, and it held 1.5 gallons of water. And I also tested for any leaks here at the pump. Since this is an external pump, there are 3 O-rings, one here at the intake on the top side of the elbow at this union. There's an O-ring where the elbow screws into the bottom of the pump, and an O-ring here at the return. Didn't have any leaks. And there's a bubble diffuser plate to make sure that the micro bubbles are evenly distributed throughout the skimmer. The air hose that supplies air to the pump runs up the body of the skimmer and is held in by this bracket. And the few videos that I have seen on the skimmer, people didn't know where the T-valve goes. It actually goes here at the top, and there's a silencer that's going to go on a separate air hose connected on the intake of the T-valve. I'll show you guys that once it's on the aquarium, but I just didn't want it flopping around for the time being. This bracket here at the top goes on the inside of the aquarium or on your sump or the back filtration walls, and this will lock it into place. There are 2 set screws on the bottom that you adjust in and out to make sure that the skimmer is level. As the bubbles, any micro bubbles that go into the return chamber will go through this bubble trap. There's a sponge here, and then it'll go up and return into an overflow here back into the tank. This elbow comes with a bubble stop attachment. I won't be using that, but I'll show that to you guys here in a minute. Overall quality of construction is very nice. I had no doubt it would be, being a Coral View product. There's also a set screw here to lock the collection cup onto the top of the skimmer body. So, all right guys, let's go ahead and get this on the tank and see what it looks like, and we'll take a look at some of the other parts that I didn't use. All right, so now I've got the skimmer hooked up. I just finished doing a water change. I needed the fresh salt water for the additional 1.5 gallons for the skimmer. And the micro bubbles in the display is very minimal. I was running the Innovative Marine skimmer for over 2 years, and I still had micro bubbles. This has been hooked up for 35 minutes, and there are less micro bubbles. Let me show you guys what all I had to do to make this thing work. But I moved my Innovative Marine media reactor to the first chamber where the desktop skimmer was, and I customized a Innovative Marine caddy to fit between the body of the reactor and the weir. I stuffed in a mechanical sponge, and I'm going to trim down a piece of poly filter pad to fit in there once I finish shooting this video. The intake tube I put in chamber 2 where the reactor used to be. and the return tube into the return chamber so that the water wouldn't be filtered twice. If you were using this on the back of your aquarium, you could use this surface skimmer. The water would flow in through the weir, you know, getting the film off the top of your water, and then it would pull it into the skimmer body. But since this is in my filtration chambers, I don't have to use that. Use the defoaming device on the return. It's doing a great job of keeping the micro bubbles out, but once it breaks in, I'm going to see if I can remove that. It was almost a perfect fit between the two return nozzles. The T-valve right here is where you get your air adjustment. All the videos I've seen online of this skimmer, people just put the silencer right there, and I don't know how they're adjusting their skimmer that way, but this is the proper way to do it. You've got the silencer here, and you can't hear any of the air being sucked in. It's doing a great job, but the skimmer is a little bit noisy. I can hear the pump, the return pump running, and the micro bubbles, you know, in the skimmer body. I can hear that. It's pulling a good skim right now. And the collection cup has an adjustment. There's a rubber gasket around the side that you can move up or down to adjust the height of your collection cup and get a wet or a dry skim. And take you around to the other side. Had to move my float switch to the side here, and my temperature probe for my Digital Aquatics Reef Keeper light beside that, and then my auto top off return is there in the second chamber right above my heater. The return drain, this 90 is a 1-inch return elbow. That's making a little bit of noise. Not too bad. And then the collection cup has a set screw that you would lock it down with. And I really don't even think that needs to be there, but Coral View, they look at every possible scenario, anything that could go wrong. They manufacture their products really well, you know, in case that collection cup were to slip or anything, that prevents that. I'll keep you guys updated on the progress of this skimmer, you know, to see what kind of skim mate this thing produces. And I'm already liking it. Just added 1.5 gallons to my system. Really well built. Works perfectly on the Innovative Marine Nuvo 38. Alright guys, one final note before I close this video out. I had to move my float sensor from my JBJ auto top off out of the return chamber over to the chamber that the intake pipe is in. This was the fluctuating chamber, so keep that in mind if you're going to run your skimmer like this. I assume that the skimmer pump is faster than the return pump for the Innovative Marine, so that adjustment had to be made. Just wanted to point that out to you guys. Okay guys, that's about going to do it for this video. I appreciate everybody watching. Everybody take care. Have a good one.